So when I was clearing the energy with my sage, my third eye, and still at this point, is throbbing or hurting. So I'll connect here and we'll see what comes through. If it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. Feels like there's like ice on my third eye. It gets blocked, frozen. This is I think it's external, trying to block the connection to the intuition. Is it self-induced? No, it's external, which inevitably can create an internal, like a self-induced blockage. It can feed off of it. I'm hearing that like evil witch laugh. Song DMX, you think it's a fucking game? It's coming through. They do. They do think it's a game. They think it's a game. Just don't know how they sleep at night. Well, we have to have duality. It's always a war, a hidden war, jealousy, envy. Death, transitions. Someone was going through a transition, or has had a glow up, if you will, transformed, and people don't like it. Clearly, the third eye, the intuition, knowing things, knowing, like seeing through people's masks, seeing them for what they are. I mean, it's talking about the third eye. Maybe your spiritual gifts have evolved. You're presenting yourself a way that they're jealous of. They don't like. They don't like that you have a connection to God, source, universe, spirit, however you want to look at it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't know how. Maybe they don't have a good bone in their body to facilitate such a thing. Maybe you are a positive influence and they wanted to be that and they're not. Do want to get into how do we unthaw it? How do we repair the connection that they are trying to distort? Distort. Queen of Swords, informed decisions. Distort is very strong in the way of messing up the connections. This is going with not everybody that comes through is for your highest and greatest good. You know, there are a lot of other players at hand out there. Taking a chance to really know who you're talking to or who's helping you, who's saying, hey, this is a good idea, and you think it's your highest and greatest, source or whatever, and I'm going to run with it. These, when we do open up, things can come to mess that up. Of course, throw you off your path. Make informed decisions. What's coming through is, I forget who says it, but it rhymes. It's something about like broke, busted, and disgusted. The Moon, we got 3 cards here. The Moon, unveiled truths. Ace of Swords, mental clarity. 6 of Pentacles, generosity. Looking at us in general, going back to seeing things for the truth, unveiling the truth, sharing the truth in general, uh, sharing you, being you, mental clarity. This is going back to uh, what I was mentioning on knowing what is and what isn't. Maybe we need a little practice there. Maybe we need to go back to making informed decisions of, is this actually here to help me, or is this to hinder me? Sure, we can get to a place where we really rely on spirit or these messages or synchronicities and signs. That's coming from a place of lack inside of ourselves where we don't have uh, the belief that we can trust our inner feeling, our true intuition. Going back, yes, there are times that we might not do things because we're scared, but knowing that that's the reason, that is different. How did I feel right before I got scared? Was I excited? Did it seem like a great idea? And then things came through and turned that off for me. It's no different than uh, sharing our plans or our goals with someone, and they have that mask on and they act like they're happy for you, and a day later you think it's a horrible idea, because they're projecting their own insecurities, or they don't want you to do that because it'd make you look a certain way. Maybe you're going to be generous in a way with your energy to help others versus I forget, there's some terms and they're not to be taken the wrong way, but I think which the word magician might be taken the wrong way. I forget the other word, but when you evolve so much and we come into our true essence, our powers and whatnot, uh, this individual termed the magician as someone using it all for self-gain, for self-fulfillment, for uh, classic manipulation and self-fulfillment. These are the type of people in the world that are going to step on everybody on their way up, very strong in need authority, need to be in charge of others, very dictatorial kind of complexes, no different than in abusive relationships. A lot of negative energies there. They can see enough that they can manipulate things so much to benefit themselves while they hide in their shadow, if we will. The beyond, I forget the other term of it, is someone that came into their gifts and used it for everyone else, to help, to give back instead of to consume it all, to consume everybody else's, for their own. That is what we would deem as the negative aspect, or at least I am here. When you take all that energy, and yes, you use it for yourself, but you're also giving all of this. You're not taking from others for yourself. You are using what's here that we all can use for yourself, but then you are also giving it back, which is obviously very generous. What else do we have here, Spirit? Seven of Cups reversed, discernment. Obviously, we've learned a lot along the way. We've gone through a lot of situations or experiences that have got us to this place. And we can see through the masks now. Sure, some things might come along and we think it's for us. And this is where we have to go inside again. When we rely on spirit so much to guide us, we're not really living. We're not making any decisions. We think they are. And we're just following this path, which to an extent it is very helpful, but we can't be dependent on it, especially if there are other energies getting a hold of the conduit or the flow of energy to change our minds, to redirect us, to implant thoughts that make us less than or feel insignificant, or, oh wow, I got a pimple on my face, I'm ugly, what are people going to think of me, type of deal. Going to get just a closing card here. King of Cups, balanced heart. really always drawn to like emotional wisdom at this with this card. And it's it's really coming out of this place of self gain and going into the bigger picture. Like we could use uh, relationships or dating, uh, just interacting with people at work in public. What am I going to do that is going to have this chain effect? Is it going to benefit me? And is it going to hurt all these other people? Well, maybe I shouldn't do it that way. How can I do this that everybody wins? How can I, you know, get what I want if that's the case while it's not hurting others? You know, normally when we talk about that negative energy, it is me, I want this, and I don't care what happens anywhere else. It can be very destructive at the same token. It's emotional wisdom. It could look destructive at the same time. We could make a decision that looks destructive, but we see the bigger picture that it's in the benefit for all parties involved, even though it may be painful. Like, let's say, leaving a relationship, you know, it is toxic, it is unhealthy for all parties there. But by doing so, it's going to allow everyone to breathe, be themselves, be authentic, and grow. This could also just be, uh, you know, I'm in a relationship, I'm dating, and uh, I'm bored. So I'll hang out with this person, but I know I don't want anything long term, but they want something long term. You know, maybe I shouldn't do this because that's not fair to them. But being in that negative energy, I would do it anyway, take advantage of them, and then walk off. That's self fulfillment while hurting others. You know, this emotional wisdom is seeing this ripple effect of how many other people it's going to affect in our decisions. But there is a way that everybody can win. And coming from a place like that is a balanced heart. I'm going to leave it there. I wish you all the best. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. And I will talk to you all later.